Yo my ningens, what is up, what is good? It is your boy, Savvy the Savage, and we're back again with a new video. Today, I'm going to be going over Granblue Fantasy versus Rising. That's right, it's time. I'm going to be going over basically how to play the game, and I hope this is helpful for you guys. So ningens, without further ado, let's fuck it up. Now, if you played Granblue Fantasy versus before, you know this game has auto combos. But what you didn't know, in Rising, they kind of gave auto combos a little bit of a buff. Now, auto combos have overheads and lows now. You can choose between either like a mid, a low, or an overhead ender. So the third hit of the auto combos, if you press forward and medium, you get a low, and if you press forward and heavy, you get an overhead. So that's nice that they gave us a little buff for auto combo, so it's not just like, oh, it's a predictable mid ender, but no, I got a mid, I got a low, and I got an overhead now you gotta guess. So it's not just like a basic go-to string anymore. Next thing I want to go over are proximity normals. If you guys don't know what proximity normals are, they are kind of basically self-explanatory. They're normals based on the proximity of where you are to your opponent. So if you're like close, you're going to do a different normal than if you were like further away. And this applies to lights, mediums, and heavy. So each version of the attack buttons have their own proximity normals, which I think is pretty damn cool. And uniques. Now the unique button, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's a unique button that does a unique action based upon the character. So a character like Lance, he does like a quick dash back and forth. Gran and Jita, they do like a sword swing. Alright, now I want to talk about one of the new mechanics in Rising, Raging Strike. So essentially what Raging Strike is, it's essentially a guard crush. So if your opponent's blocking and you do a Raging Strike, it'll push them further away from you. It'll push them like far back. And the way you do a Raging Strike is you press medium and heavy at the same time. If you look on the screen, like you would see like these little diamonds, these 3 diamonds, and these are called bravery points. And you use bravery points every time you use a Raging Strike. And once you hit them, you can follow up with what's called a Raging Chain. A Raging Chain allows you to basically get a follow-up combo afterwards. It leaves them wide open so you can combo them. Okay, now I'm gonna go over to the next topic, which is Brave Counter. Now what Brave Counter is basically a counter to Raging Strike. So when your opponent hits you with a Raging Strike and you have 2 diamonds available, you can counter the Raging Strike and push the opponent back, but at the cost of 2 diamonds. So you have 3 at the beginning of the match. If you use a Brave Counter, you'll be down 2, so you would only have 1 left while your opponent still has 2. So you have to be mindful when using it. Also, something else to note, the more diamonds you do not have, the more damage you take. So if you are out all 3 diamonds, I think you take 50% more damage. So be mindful when using that. If you run out of diamonds, you're going to be eating a lot more damage than you usually would. So be mindful of that. So there are traditional inputs like quarter circle forward, quarter circle back, DP motions, down motions, 360 motions, all that jazz. So the easy inputs are whatever you set your skill button for. So all you would have to do is press the skill button and then you would do the special. And for the other specials, you would do like a direction and the skill button. Think of it like modern controls for Street Fighter 6 basically. Okay, so this game does have a cooldown system for specials, but the specials come back pretty quick, so they aren't really that noticeable unless you're doing like the EX specials, which are like the heavy button specials. but even then it doesn't take that long for the cooldown to end, so you'll get your specials back like that. So don't be afraid to just let them Jones rip. You're gonna get them back. It's not gonna take forever. Also, there is a slight damage difference between using normal inputs and easy inputs or easy skills. Basically, I think there's like a 10% damage difference, but even then it can be meaningful if you're trying to close out a round, but not really, honestly. It all depends on what you're comfortable with, honestly. You just do what makes you feel comfortable. If you're comfortable using easy inputs, then use easy inputs. If you're comfortable using traditional inputs, use traditional inputs. If you're comfortable using both, then just do both. Just do what makes you comfortable at the end of the day. Alright, now on to ultimate skills. Ultimate skills are basically what the name entails. They are the ultimate skills of your character's skills. So think of something like a fireball. The ultimate skill of a fireball would be like covers the majority of the screen and goes super fast, or it would go super slow and do multi-hitting moves, or it would give you like a status effect or something. Now each skill depends on the character. So let's say for instance, I'm gonna use Lancelot. So Lancelot's ultimate skill for his fireball, it looks normal, but once it hits you, you get a status effect. You're frozen, so you move a lot slower. Your jumps, your attacks, everything that you do will be slower. And that's Lance's ultimate skill. That's one of his ultimate skills. But the ultimate skills depend on the character. So explore your characters, figure out what ultimate skills they have, and learn how to utilize them. Alright, next up are supers. They gave supers a little bit of a buff in Rising. So remember how I mentioned the bravery points? Little diamonds on top of the character's health bar? If you hit somebody with your super skybound art or skybound art, that's the supers, the name of the supers in this game. If you guys aren't aware, they will lose 2 bravery points. So let's say you used a raging strike and you took down one of your opponent's diamonds or bravery points, and then you have full meter. Then you do a super. Now they have no meter. They're going to be taking 50% damage for the rest of the round, and they're up shit's creek without a paddle, while you still have like 2 or 1 diamond left to do raging strike and follow it with raging chain and potentially close out the round. So that's a little tidbit I want to give y'all. Now we're going to go over dash attacks. Dash attacks are something new in Granblue, specifically for Rising. If you press forward and light, you get a mid. The mid is your best friend. It is, I think, plus 2 or 3, depending on the character. I think all I know is that everybody's dash light is plus something. It's plus. That's all you need to know. Your dash light is plus. Use it, abuse it, love it. To perform a dash attack, you have to press forward and whatever button you want to press. So like forward light, forward medium, or forward heavy to do a dash attack. You have to do it while you're running. Alright, ningens, quick note. Dash medium and dash heavy, the properties depend on the character. So not every character's dash medium is a low, and not everybody's dash heavy is an overhead. Some people's dash mediums are overheads and dash heavies are lows, or some of them might be all mids, or I don't know. It all depends on the character. So keep that in mind. So you can set dash to a macro like other fighting games. So you can set dash to like a shoulder button, and you can press it, you'll just immediately start dashing. You can press forward and light, and you get dash light and B plus and just abuse your opponent with it. Next up, I'm going to go over defense. Now, Granblue Fantasy versus is a very offensive game. You're going to be fighting a lot of aggressive people, but something I want to tell you guys, please use the defense mechanics the game gave you. It makes getting past a lot of stuff easy. Okay, let's say you're fighting somebody that likes to throw fireballs. Let's say you're fighting a zoner and they just throw fireballs all day, every day. And you're wondering, like, how do I advance? How do I get in your face? Use crossover. Crossover is basically the move that lets you evade fireballs but advance to your opponent. But be careful though, because crossovers can be thrown. They can throw you out of a crossover, so be careful, be mindful of that. And they can also hit you low sometimes, so be mindful of that. It can also be used to get out of the corner. So if your opponent puts you in a corner, you can try to cross over to get out of the corner and put them in the corner. Alright, now I'm going to go over dodging. Dodging is another evasion tool that you can use to evade things like fireballs, full screen moves, pressure in a corner, throw. Now this dodging can actually be throws, just so you guys know, throws and a whole lot of other stuff. Now granted, everybody won't be able to use them perfectly, because you won't be able to always use them perfectly, but if you get a basic understanding and you know how to use them, they'll take you far. Anyway, ningens, that is it. That is all. I hope all you niggas enjoyed this little beginner's guide on Granblue Fantasy versus Rising. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I will catch all you niggas later. Shebang, bitches.
Push me to the push me to here we go. Stop, hold up. Push me to the